don't know how you want to do it. I don't know if you really want to be trying to pulling up the precepts on the screen or whatever. But like I say, we probably ain't gonna have a lot of time for you to pull up every one, because a lot of time I'm gonna need you to get to the precept quickly as possible. If we had the wad on here, he could probably read, and then you can pull him up, but I don't see him in here. So we just
He just messaged me saying that he's having some internet issues. He had to restart his router. He said he was in earlier, but then it kicked him out.
Okay, well, maybe when he get in here, we could kind of just start doing it that way. But just keep me updated so I know. And if you want to start off, we'll start off with opening up the screen, because like I always like to do, I like to open up with a couple precepts before we even get into the class to kind of bridge the gap before we get there. A lot of times I don't really like to just walk straight into the class. I like to build it up a little bit to let everybody know we're building up the precepts before we even get into the class. So let's open up with today's class. Like I said, we're going into Genesis chapter 1, the breakdown. So just be ready. Brothers, if y'all gonna take notes, make sure y'all write these precepts down, because a lot of times you're gonna need these precepts. Just say if you're not teaching on the street, you might want to talk to a family member or a cousin, or you don't want to look like you don't know what you're talking about. Because one thing about the Israelites, we very well study and we're very well rounded. That's why a lot of Christians and Muslims, they don't want to deal with us, because they know we study and they know we research the scriptures. So, and you don't want to be that Israelite, because we like 10,000 and 0. When it comes to Christianity, you don't want to be that one brother on YouTube we be 10,001 because you lost against a Christian. Don't be that brother or sister. So let's open up with Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 10. Let's open up with that, Mahar. We're going to try to build it up a little bit. So we'll start off. You can put stuff on the screen. And then once we start getting into Genesis, you might not want to start doing it, bro. You might want to just get the scripture. Maybe when the wide get on here, it might be better. Right. So go ahead and you can go ahead and start reading it.
All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46 and verse 10. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
Right. So the Most High, when he was prophesying, or the scriptures to be put together, the Bible, he wrote the end of the Bible first. He wrote how the world was going to end first before he wrote, let there be light. So he declared the end of the Bible before he wrote the beginning of the Bible. Because you got to remember, go to Isaiah 55 and start at verse 8. I'm going to read 8 and 9. Whenever you're ready, brother.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord.
Right. So the Lord, the way he do things is not the way we do things. Because everything we doing, we really coming back to the correct way of doing things. We doing everything contrary toward the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Everything we do is not the way he thinks. He's on a whole nother level. Things that people probably say things like that's ugly into the world. In the eyes of the Most High, that's beautiful. When a woman wears her natural kinky afro hair, the Most High love that. That's the best look in the world. But when we straighten it out and perm it out and blonde it out and do it like so-called Esau, the Most High kind of like, that's the most ugliest damn thing I ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? So anything that's contrary towards what we think is beautified in the eyes of the Most High. Right? Keep reading, Mahar.
Verse 9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my
Right.
thoughts than your thoughts.
Right, because he's thinking on a heavenly thought or thinking pattern. We thinking on an earthly pattern. Why his ways and his thoughts are way higher and above our thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Way above. That's why we got a long way to go before we even can get on that level to get in that spiritual realm. Because when we get to the kingdom, man, you can probably see stuff you ain't never seen before. When you see these angels, man, and they're gonna be walking around these you know what you call them, the different faces and stuff like that, man. You're gonna be used to seeing that. You don't see Leviathan, animals that you never ever seen before. We're not on that level yet because our ways is not the ways of the Most High, right? So you can drop that. Go to Ecclesiastes in the Bible. Go to 1 and 4. So we on the Most High. His thoughts is not the way we think. He's on another level, you know. And as you continue to read that scripture, he said his word would not go out void. So whatever he got written down, hey, that's what's gonna happen. Ain't no way you won't be able to change nothing. And that's what Esau tried to do. He tried to change times and laws, right? Go ahead, Mahar.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
Right. So when the Most High created the earth going to abide forever, forever. I mean, it's never going to be destroyed. After the kingdom of heaven is set up, the earth will be here forever, everlasting life. We got to have somewhere to live. If we're going to plan on living forever, we got to have somewhere to live. Right? The earth will be burnt up and burnt to a crisp, but it will be redefined according to the Bible, right? Right. So let's go to Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9 before we get into it. Let's read that, and then I want you to pull up that video I sent you. We're gonna play that video. It's about 5 minutes long, so that we're gonna play that, and I'm gonna break it down before we even get the video up. Go ahead, read that.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit,
right,
whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire.
Right. So he's the Ancient of Days. Let's look up that word Ancient of Days real quick. See if we can get some clarification. We know the Most High, he's out of time. He don't have no start date. Like you was born, somebody might say, I was like me myself, I was born October 8th. That was the day I was born here on the earth. But when we get into the scriptures, we was always there in the beginning. Right. So go ahead and click on that. Everybody outside, that's why they call themselves the Ancient of Days, because he don't have no beginning or no end time starting. He just is. It's just so hard to explain. The only way you can say he just is, or he just exists, because he don't have a day that he existed or no one created him. Right? Go ahead and read it, Mark.
All right, it's two separate words. Ancient is a teak, and it says ancient, advanced, aged, old, taken away. The Strong's definition, venerable, ancient. And then the other one of days is yom, which is day. Day always refers to a 24-hour period when the world is modified by a definite or cardinal number. Strong's definition, a day, day by day, time.
Right. So the Most High, he don't have no days or time. Right. So let's get into the video if you want to pull that up. Before we get into the video, I wanted to say, like, before Mahar pull up this video, the earth is all about order. 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 Everything the Most High do is about structure and order. He have a blueprint for everything that's in the world. When you see certain animals and you see certain like insects, they on this earth for a reason, right? When you see, like, I'm gonna get the bees for example. Just think if we take away the bees and the bees is non-existent or they extinct today, that would take away a lot of stuff off the earth. That would take away a lot of fruits we won't be eating. We won't be eating, like, it'll take it, like, evaporate strawberries, blueberries, different vegetables like cucumbers, a lot of things. A little bee, his nectar, it provides a lot of stuff for the earth and a lot of minerals it provide. And just like it provides like certain minerals for like certain animals, like cows. So if a bee didn't exist, a cow wouldn't exist on this earth. He'd just fade away. It wouldn't even be no more cows. It wouldn't be no more hamburgers. It wouldn't be, a lot of food would just dwindle off the earth just because of a small thing as a bumblebee. You know what I'm saying? When the Most High was creating certain animals, he was creating them to do certain jobs. Just like when we talk about the fishes in the sea and the ocean, and a lot of people talking about, well, I eat catfish, I eat shrimp, I eat this. The Most High didn't create certain meats for you to be eaten off the planet. That's why you see the ocean is so polluted. Certain things are so dirty because we keep taking the things out of the water that the Most High got to filter and keep the water clean, you know, to keep the water blue and nice and clean. So the other fishes, the ones that does have scales, they can be able to exist and be able to get oxygen in those fins and those scales. But what we do, we destroy the earth. You know, we come and destroy the earth. You know, Revelation 5 say he that destroyed the earth, the Most High will destroy. So when we take those things out of the water and we say, this is a delicacy, it's really not, because what you're doing, you're taking the things that the Lord created to filter the water and to keep the ocean clean. And the ocean, you know, certain things, eat the fish and stuff. You're really destroying your own self. You're not only destroying your body, you're destroying the population of how the earth is really dissolved to be in order. That's why we say we don't eat certain foods, because the Most High never ordained for you to eat those things. I always say this example. If I got a 2026 Corvette and I read the manual and it say super unleaded gas only, and I'm dropping regular unleaded in there, oh man, it's super too hot. It's almost $5 a gallon. And I'm sitting here putting regular gas in there all the time. Eventually that motor is gonna break down. It's done. That's the same thing when you putting that pork and shrimp and crab and all these other things that the Most High tell you not to eat. You're gonna destroy your body. You're gonna get cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes. You're not gonna be around here long to tell the story. That's why you see today a lot of people, they die at 65, 70. They're barely getting out of the 80s, man. Why? Because they still eating that disastrous food that the Lord told you don't eat. And even if you say, I just eat a little bit, I'll just mix in a little bit, you're still going against the word of the Lord. When your parents told you to do certain things, you say, I just do it just a little bit. No, you got to stop it completely. Because when you go to jail, is you're going to get judged from doing a little bit of murder, or you're going to go to jail for damn murder. You do one murder, you're going to jail. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no difference. I can do 20 murders versus one murder. You're still going to be in jail with me. I did 30. You did one. You're still going to jail. You eat one piece of pork, you're still going to be judged by the Most High. It don't matter in the eyes of the Lord. So let's play that video. And then once it's done, I'm going to show you like the order. The Lord is about order. He's not about things being discombobulated out of order. So go ahead and play that video. This video got to do with creation. So I wanted to give y'all the visual about how creation is and how the order is before we even get into the class. Because Esau, the so-called white man, he going to tell you that the earth was started with two asteroids pumped together and boom, and we got all this civilization, and men came out of monkeys and all this stupid stuff. So go ahead and play the video. I'm gonna go ahead and pause my mic.
Have you ever wondered how this unique order and beauty in the world come to be? Wherever we look, we see patterns around us. These patterns not only add beauty to our world, but also reveal the presence of harmony and balance within a structured order. So what is a pattern? A pattern is a regular, repeating design found in nature and every aspect of life. These designs exist in harmony and elegance. How do this order and balance bring together uniqueness and diversity to create unity? Can all this order and harmony truly be the result of mere chance? In forests, which function like oxygen tanks, how is it that new trees replace the ones that are lost so quickly? With its fascinating structure and unique abilities, who taught the spider how to weave its remarkable web? How does this uniquely created creature know how to repair the missing sections of its web? Bees, moving as though entrusted with a satellite service on Earth, possess a matchless weaving art not found in any other creature. Who taught them how to create this magnificent structure? What is the common feature of these beauties formed by the repetition of large, small, different, or similar parts in nature? Let's think about snowflakes. Each one is unique and unmatched. These marvelous structures not only adorn nature, but also reveal the harmony in the arrangement of parts of different sizes. Could similar examples of these unique structures also exist within my own body? Many works of art in the universe have been both enhanced and made unique through repetition. So, what connects these creations? Doesn't such a magnificent order and harmony clearly demonstrate the infinite wisdom and power of a creator? Don't these works of art clearly reveal how powerful a single creator is, how he creates with infinite knowledge and perfection, and how he establishes an order full of wisdom to make himself known? What does all of this tell us? Allah creates unparalleled order and artistry through the patterns in His works. This order reflects signs of wisdom and infinite power in every aspect of the universe. At the same time, through every creation, He conveys harmony, uniqueness, compassion, and love. And these creations are not solely limited to this world. They imply that greater beauties await us in another realm.
All right. That is something small, to show you like our creation is so unique. Everything have a purpose on this earth. The genome codes, the flowers, and everything is on this earth for a purpose. And the Most High made the blueprint to bring out why we got certain things. And like I say, the Most High, he thought about order and structure, and balance. That's why when the guy was talking about like order, structure, and balance, it creates perfect harmony. And that's how it is, even though with us as being like an organization or just brotherhood or fellowship, if we have to have that divine order, you know what I'm saying? Because if the Most High didn't set up order, everything would just be running around ragged. People just be doing whatever they want to. That's why people be talking about, oh, God's laws done away with. If God's laws done away with, everybody just be running around just going buck wild, doing whatever the hell they want to, So all praise to the Most High. But let's go to 1 Corinthians 14, and let's start at verse 40. We're going to go through how the Most High, he always was about order, blueprint, structure. And we got to get back to that. We got to get back to the foundation, right? So go ahead and read that, Mahar.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14 and verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Right. When they say all things, it's literally talking about all things. You have to have structure and order in all your life. Anything you do in your life, on your job, you have to have structure and order on your job. In your family, you have to have structure and order. With your kids, you got to have structure and order. With the congregation, that's no different. Somehow when brothers think when we build congregations, it's a difference about structure and order. When brothers get out of order, we try to put the structure back into it. What they do? Oh man, I'm quitting this. I'm out of here. They don't know about structure and order. And them not the brothers, the ones that always running, them the ones ain't gonna last when the kingdom to come, because it's all gonna be about order. If you can't take orders and follow orders, how you gonna be able to give them? There's no way, man. You can't be able to give no orders if you don't know how to follow them and take them your own self, right? Go to Psalm 37 and 23.
You said Psalm
37 and 23. Go ahead and read that.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 37 and verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way.
Right. So you have to have structure and order to delight in the ways of the Most High. If you don't know how to take orders or correction, or when a brother try to reprove you, right? How you gonna be able to give those orders out? A lot of brothers, what they do, they run. They say, I'm starting my own camp. Brother, take the correction, right? Take the order, because that's what it's all about. It's about structure, correction, and order. Even though, like when the Most High was creating the holy garments for the priests, they just didn't see, he just didn't say, hey, throw on anything and come into the holies of holies. Yeah, structure and order. Go to Exodus chapter 28 and verse 4. Y'all know when the Most High was setting up the temple, man, things had to be orderly. Certain people couldn't touch certain things. Certain tribes couldn't be in certain areas, man. It's all about the divine power and order and structure of the Most High. But somehow we here in America do whatever the hell you want to do, right? Read that.
This is the book
I
of
ain't gonna read the
Exodus.
whole chapter, because it's the whole chapter showing how he told them to come into the temple. Start up a little bit. Start at verse 1. And then we'll jump down. Go ahead.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 28 and verse 1. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar, Aaron's sons.
I read verse 2.
Verse 2. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty.
All right, so when he said make holy garments, he didn't say show up in the holy with any garment on. He gave him the blueprint on how he wanted these garments to be looking, how they should be able to come into there, how the garment should be made. Let's start at verse 4. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and a broidered coat, a mitre, and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office.
Right, so he giving them the blueprint. Let's keep going.
Verse 5. And they shall take gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen.
Right, now if you can put on black, gold, green, and purple. No, he had it all structured out. Read.
Verse 6. And they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and of purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen, with cunning work.
All right, that's it on that. Y'all got the point. The Most High had the blueprint how the men, the Levite priests had to dress. All right, so let's drop that. I get one more. Go to First Chronicles chapter 28, and we're gonna start at verse 2. Even when they was building the temple, he gave King David the blueprint how to do it. He didn't say, hey, just build me a temple and just go in there and start structuring things how you want it done. Right? Go ahead and read that.
This is the book of First Chronicle, chapter 28 and verse 2. Then David the king stood up upon his feet and said, hear me, my brethren and my people. As for me, I had in mine heart to build an house of rest for the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and for the footstool of our God, and had made ready for the building.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 3. But God said unto me, thou shalt not build an house for my name, because thou hast been a man of war and hast shed blood.
Right, so the Most High say, David, you ain't gonna build the temple because you shedded too much blood at this time. So he gave straight orders to him not to build that temple in the time of David. Right, go to verse 6.
Verse 6. And he said unto me, Solomon thy son, he shall build my house and my courts, for I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be his father.
Right, so he chose Solomon to build that temple at that time. Jump to verse 11.
Verse 11. Then David gave to Solomon his son the pattern of the porch and of the houses thereof.
Right,
and
so
of the
he gave his son the blueprint. Where you get the blueprint from? The Most High, to build the temple. Right? He said, build it according to this pattern. Don't just start if I say put a gold knob here, don't put no damn silver knob. Right? They had to do it strictly to the orders how it was supposed to be done. Right? Go ahead, Mahar.
And of the treasuries thereof, and of the upper chambers thereof, and of the inner parlors thereof, and of the place of the mercy seat. Verse 12. And the pattern of all that he had by the Spirit, of the courts of the house of the Lord, and of all the chambers round about, of the treasuries of the house of God, and of the treasuries of the dedicated things.
Read the next verse.
Verse 13. Also for the courses of the priests and the Levites, and for all the work of the service of the house of the Lord, and for all the vessels of service in the house of the Lord.
Right, that's it on that. The rest of it, you can read the rest because he got the rest of the blueprint, how he was building the candlesticks. He wanted this in a certain place. He wanted tables, the showbread. Everything had to be in order, right? So you can drop that. I just wanted to show y'all read through all throughout the scriptures when the Most High divine order. He always had order and structure, always, right? That's why he set up judges to judge Israel, because he always maintained order, right? Any plague came up on you, any blemishes, anything, they had a certain way. Hey, you got to go outside the camp, come back at this certain time till you fully clean. It was all about order and structure, right? So we have to get that order back, and that's what Genesis, the first chapter, is teaching us. Order, divine order of the Most High. Because if you take one thing out of that order, the whole thing gonna crumble down. The whole system, the whole everything gonna crumble down. So let's go to Genesis 1:1. We're gonna start right there.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Right, just read the first verse.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Right, so stop right there. Just that first verse. It's a whole lot to go into. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right? So I don't know if you want to keep pulling up the screen, but we're about to go into about 10 precepts just right there off the rip. So I don't know if you want to keep up or whatever, but let's start in Revelation 1 and 8. Because a lot of them is not that long.
Oops, pushed the wrong one. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 8. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty.
Right, so he's the beginning and the end. That's why in Genesis say, in the beginning. Christ was there where? In the beginning. He told you right there. I'm Alpha, Omega, the beginning. I was there in the beginning, and I'm going to be here in the end. Right? So drop that. Let's go to Colossians chapter 1, and let's start at verse 12. Colossians 1 and 12.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 1 and verse 12. Giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light. Verse 13. Who hath delivered us from the power of darkness, and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son.
Right, because even when we go into the further verses in Genesis, he said, let there be light. He took the darkness out of the light. So right there, we established a divine order of the Most High. Everything always started in darkness and then light. Right? Before you came into this truth, you was living in darkness. Right? Before you came out of your mother's womb, you was in darkness in that womb, and then you came into the light. Right? Everything is a divine order. When you plant a seed, it's in darkness, and then when it comes out of the ground, it comes up and get that light for the soil. Everything is a divine order. You can't break the divine order of the Most High. Right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 14. In whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. Verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature.
Right. So Yahwahshi was the firstborn creature out of everything. That was the first thing the Most High created, was his son. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 16. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
Right. So in the beginning, we see right here that Yahwahshi Christ, he created everything, not just him. We're going to get into that too. Keep going.
Verse 17. And he is before all things.
He is what?
And he is before all things.
He is before all things. Go ahead.
And by him all things consist.
All things consist. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And he is the head of the body,
He is
the church.
what?
The head of the body.
Right. He is the head of the body, what we read in 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. Without the brain, without the head, the arms, the eyes, the mouth, the heart, these things do not move, exist without the brain. We are the body. When you go 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, we are the body of Yahwahshi. So in order for us to be the body, right, we will have to lean onto the brain for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? You just can't just be moving on your own. Your arm just not just gonna start moving and grabbing stuff without sensors coming from your brain to have you do those things, right? And that's what I say. It's all about structure and order. Even in the foundation of a congregation, foundation of your household, foundation of your job, foundation, everything have to be in order. Even when I cut my grass, I cut it in a certain order. I do it in a certain order. I don't just go out there and say, okay, cut the grass, then I grab a weed whacker, then I edge the grass. I do it totally opposite. I started with the weed whacker first, weed whacking stuff off the house, off the gate and stuff like that. Then I come and hit it with the lawnmower, then I edge it, sweep it up, and I'm gone. It's an order to everything you do. It's a structure to it. When you go into the gym and work out, you just don't grab dumbbells and just say, you warm up, you get the body warm, you get the blood pumping, the heart circulating, the blood going through, rushing through the veins. It's always an order. So let's keep reading, please.
The church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have the preeminence.
Right, he's going to have the preeminence, right? He have the preeminence to know the end before the beginning, right? So you can drop that. Let's go to John chapter 1 and verse 1. Before we get John 1 and 1, let's go to Job chapter 38 and verse 4. Job 38 and 4. We're going to read 4 through 7. Go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 38 and verse 4.
So this is the Most High. He's giving Job some correction, right? He's telling Job, you think you know everything. Where the hell was you at when I was doing the creation, since you know so much? So go ahead and read.
Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare if thou hast understanding. Verse 5. Who hath laid the measures thereof, if thou knowest? Or who hath stretched the line upon it? Verse 6. Whereupon are the foundations thereof fastened? Or who laid the cornerstone thereof? Verse 7. When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy.
Stop right there. When it say, when the morning star, right, sung together. Who is that morning star? Go to Revelations real quick, 22 in verse 6. So we want to know who was there doing all this stuff, the creation. Because when we go back to Genesis chapter 1, we're going to find that out. Right, go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 22 and verse 6. And he said unto me, these sayings are faithful and true. And the Lord God of the holy prophets sent his angel to shew unto his servants the things which must shortly be done.
Right.
Verse 7. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. Verse 8. And I, John, saw these things and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the angel which shewed me these things. Verse 9. Then saith he unto me,
That's
see
good on
thou
that.
do
That's
it.
good on that. That's good on that. I was trying to find that scripture, the one that said it probably go down a little bit, 16 or something, to say he got Christ at the morning star. But let's go back. Let's go back to Genesis real quick. Let's go back there. But we know Christ Now go back to Job where we left off, and then we go back there because there was a little bit more on there. We want to get all the meat off the bone. So start back at verse 7 again.
This is the book of Job, chapter 38 and verse 7. When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy.
Right, so we know the sons of God was actually the host of heaven, the angels at this time, right? When they was doing the creation, right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 8. Or who shut up the sea with doors when it brake forth, as if it had issued out of the womb? Verse 9. When I made the cloud the garment thereof, and thick darkness a swaddling band for it. Verse 10. And break up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors.
Read 11.
Verse 11.
Go to Genesis.
And said, hitherto shalt thou come, but no further, and here shall thy proud waves be stayed.
Right, now let's go back to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1. Right, so we're going to read down to, we're going to read 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to start right there.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
That real quick, because when you think about like when God created, let's click on that word God real quick, because we just read in Job that the morning star and the sons of God were there. So let's click on that. It's going to be that word Elohim or whatever. It's not a singular word. It's a plural word. So when they say God created the heavens, that means the angels and Christ created the heavens. So click on it. Go ahead.
It's Elohim.
Click on it. Click on it on the top, at the top. Yeah, right there. Click on it.
Which one? The root word?
Speaker.
Oh.
Strong's H 430, entry 1. Eloach. Eloach. Second entry. Elohim. Elohim. And the third entry. Eloach. Eloach.
Okay, now let's go down.
And it means rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, gods, God, goddess, God-like one, works or special possessions of God, the true God, God.
Right, so we see all of those as not a singular, it's plural. Angels, gods, they were all there during the creation, at the time of creation. So click back out and go to that word heaven, because it's more than one definition of heaven in the Bible, right? A lot of time when people think heaven, they think it's just one definition of heaven. I'm going to show you this. We went over this before. There's many definitions of the word heaven. Heaven can be above the firmament, or the Most High dwell, the sky. It's like where the birds fly. That's considered to be a heaven. In the third dimension where the Most High dwell, that's a heaven. And rulership on the earth is heaven. So when we talking about we getting the kingdom of heaven, we're talking about we getting the rulership. We're not talking about going to the third dimension where the Most High dwell, right? Because we was already there where the Most High dwell. When you die, your spirit will go back up to the Most High, to the third dimension. And then once judgment day come, and if you're worthy, your spirit will come back down to the earth and be in power and in rulership, right? So let's go ahead and read that heaven. And I'm going to show you another heaven before we continue on. Go ahead.
All right, heaven is Strong's H 8064, Shamayim, and it means heaven, heavens, sky, visible heavens, sky, as abode of the stars, as the visible universe, the sky, atmosphere, etc. Heaven as the abode of God.
Let's scroll down some more, because this definition of heaven in the Old Testament is only in a few verses. Let's go ahead and scroll down. We'll see. It's in a lot of verses, but I'm going to show you one place it's not going to be. Scroll down where all the precepts at. Keep going down. This definition right here is in all these precepts. Genesis, keep going. Stroll fast. Yeah, just stroll real fast. Now it's gonna be some more down at the bottom. These are the ones in Genesis and Exodus. Now, when you get down here, you see Genesis through Exodus, right? And then the next ones would be, click on the number 2. Go ahead, click on that. Go ahead. Keep going. Hold on. Yeah. So it would be all of those would be into that word heaven. But you can get out of that. Let's go back into Genesis. So it's various words, but all of those heavens have different definitions of it, right? So let's
I
go
think
back.
actually all of those are the same Hebrew Strong's 8064.
Right. So let's go back and let's read verse 2, 1 and 2.
Verse 2. And the earth was without form and void.
Stop right there.
And
stop right there. Go to Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 23. The earth without form and void, because it's a divine order. Everybody think, yeah, the Most High can do whatever he want to do. He can just snap his fingers and some will pop up. But that ain't the divine order that the Most High does things in. He does things within growth, just like even us in this truth. That's why a lot of times they say you have to come as babes, or he tell us to wean from the milk. Because we have to, I don't care if you're 80 years old, man. When you come into this Bible, you're a baby in this Bible. You might have been on this earth 100 years. The day one you start studying this Bible, you on that breast milk. That's why when we read in Hebrews, it says start off with the milk before you get to the meat. A lot of guys, they go off because they skip the milk and they jump straight to the meat. Then they're on YouTube making an ass out of themselves, looking all foolish. Right? Go ahead and read that.
this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 23. I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, and the heavens, and they had no light.
There was no light at that time. Go ahead.
Verse 24. I beheld the mountains, and lo, they trembled, and all the hills moved lightly.
Go ahead.
Verse 25. I beheld, and lo, there was no man, and all the birds of the heavens were fled. Verse 26. I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness, and all the cities thereof were broken down at the presence of the Lord, and by his fierce anger.
Right, that means it wasn't no fruits at that time. Go ahead.
Verse 27. For thus hath the Lord said, the whole land shall be desolate, yet will I not make a full end.
That's it on that. So when it was without form and void, it was nothing there. Of course, we know that on the surface level too, right? But let's go back on verse 2.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep.
What was on the face of the deep?
Darkness was upon the face of the deep.
Right. So anything you start, like I say, is a divine order. Darkness. There got to be darkness before there's light. Right? It's just a divine order, man. The Most High not coming out of that divine order. Right? Let's keep going.
And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters.
Keep reading.
Verse 3. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. Verse 4. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. Verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day.
Right. So that was a plain upon tables. But now we're going to get the real understanding of it. So back it up a little bit. Let's go back up to verse 2 again. So it say we've got the form, we got the void, right? Let's go to, I'm gonna show you something. Let's go to, because he said, let's go to 2 Peter's chapter 1 and verse 19. Let's start with that one first. Because like I said, it was a divine order. Before every last one of us knew we was Israelites, we was left in the dark. Only the ones that know they was Israelites that was born is your children and my children. But before then, we didn't know nothing. We run around Hamites. We Hamites. The church, you go to church, we Ham. We from Ham. Right? We was in the dark. We was doing wicked and evil. We didn't know nothing about the way marriage was holy matrimony. We didn't know nothing about that. We was in darkness celebrating all these wicked holidays, you know, getting married, getting divorced. We was all over the damn place. Well, let's read that.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 1 and verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts.
Right, and the day star arises in your heart. We was always in darkness until this morning star or the day rise star. He came in, not into our literal heart, into your mind, into your brain. You was always in darkness. So let's go back up. Let's go back to John 1 and 1. John 1 and 1, because I forgot we supposed to get back into that in the beginning. Because Christians love this John 1 and 1 when they try to say Christ and the Yahweh and Yahwahshi is the same being, right? They break the whole thing down wrong. So let's read it.
This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
Right. So when we read that, that's the same definition, Elohim, right? Gods, plural, not singular. There were gods there at the beginning, not just one God, right? That's where they go off at. Say the Word was God and God was with him. So let's try to make it seem like it was just one being. It's not. It was Elohim. Let's keep reading.
Verse 2. The same was in the beginning with God.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 3. All things were made by him,
Mm-hmm.
and without him was not anything made that was made.
Right.
Verse 4. In him was life, and the life was the light of men.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5.
That's a good. Hold on. Read verse 4 again, because that play a big part on what we was going into about the light. From darkness to light. Go ahead. Let's read that again.
Verse 4. In him was life.
In him was what?
Life.
Life. Life and what?
And the life was the light of men.
The what of men?
The light of men.
Light of men. The light of men. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And the light shineth in darkness.
And the light did what?
Shineth in darkness.
Right. Go ahead.
And the darkness comprehended it not.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 6. There was a man sent from God, whose name was John.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light.
He bear witness of the who?
Of the light.
Of the light. Right. So when we read in the beginning, when we read in Genesis chapter 1 in verse 2, when it say, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. And God said, let there be light, and there were light. Right. I'm gonna show you, because some people are gonna say the light was Christ. It is Christ in the sense, but I'm gonna show you that what the light is. What is that light? He's the light that guides us into light. That's what it is. Right? Keep reading. I'm gonna show it to you.
That all men through him might believe.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 8. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. That was the true light,
Right.
which lighteth every man that cometh into the world.
Right. So Yahwahshi lighteth every man that came into the world. Right. Let's keep going.
Verse 10. He was in the world, and the world was made by him.
And the world was made by him, the light. Let's go.
And the world knew him not.
And the world knew him not. Go ahead.
Verse 11. He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
Right.
Verse 12. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God.
Right. So the Christians, they just like to read verse 11 and say, oh, the word of the people, the Israelites didn't receive him, but they get cut on the very next verse. Because the Israelites did receive him. Right. Go ahead.
Even to them that believe on his name.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13. Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God.
Right. Stroll up to 18. Let me see what that say real quick. No, that's it on that. So he was the light. John paid the way for that light. Right. So when we read in Genesis, he said, let there be light. He took and in verse 4 say, and God saw the light, that the light was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. Right. So we see in the creation, before we even get to sun, stars, moon, that light, we're going to find out what was that light. Right. So we're going to get more precepts and we're going to show you what was the light. Right. John paid the way for the light. Let's go to John chapter 8 and verse 12. While we in the book of John.
This is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 12. Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life.
Right. So Jesus, Christ said he's the light of the world. Right. Walk not in darkness. Right. If you walk with him, you're going to walk into the light. Right. So drop that. Let's go to John chapter 9 and verse 5. While we in the book of John. John 9 and verse 5. We're going to get more clarity on that too. Just walk with me.
This is the book of John, chapter 9 and verse 5. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world.
I'm the light of the world. I'm the light of the world. Right? So let's go to Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 8. Pay attention. Go ahead and read that. Start
This
at verse
is the book.
8. Go ahead.
Start at verse what?
8. Go ahead.
Okay. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 8. For ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light.
Right. Now stop right there. Watch this. Go to Second Esdras real quick. Chapter 6. And let's read verse 38. When you pull up that on another tab, make sure you hold that tab because we're going to keep coming back to Second Esdras. Right? So let's jump down to verse 38 about that light. Let's start at verse 38.
This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 38. And I said, O Lord, thou spakest from the beginning of the creation, even the first day, and saidst thus, Let heaven and earth be made, and thy word was a perfect work.
Right. So this is the beginning of creation. Right. Let's keep reading.
Verse 39. And then was the Spirit.
And then was the who?
The Spirit.
So you got to have the Spirit before you start doing the foundation of the creation. Right. Go ahead.
And darkness.
What was the first thing after the Spirit?
And darkness.
Okay. Remember that. Go ahead.
And silence were on every side.
Mm-hmm.
The sound of man's voice was not yet formed.
The sound of man's voice wasn't even formed at this time. Read on.
Verse 40. Then commandest thou a fair light to come forth. A fair light.
So this is that light. When it say, let there be light, and there was light. Right? Go ahead.
To come forth of thy treasures.
Come forth out of the what?
Thy treasures.
Out of the treasury. Right? Go ahead.
That thy work might appear.
Right. So if you got a treasury, a box, you see it on the cartoons, SpongeBob and all these cartoons, they go to the treasury and they find the treasury and they open it up. And what's the first thing pop out? That light of gold, that light. So let's see what is that light, that treasury, that light that the Most High is talking about. Let's go to Sirach chapter 1 and verse 24. Remember, Christ said, I am the light of the world. But was Christ that light in Genesis chapter 1? It's a divine order. Follow me. Follow me. Let's read.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 24. He will hide his words for a time, and the lips of many shall declare his wisdom.
And many shall declare his wisdom. Read.
Verse 25. The parables of knowledge are in the treasures of wisdom.
The what?
The parables of knowledge are in the treasures of wisdom.
Right. Is the treasures that light is talking about knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Who's going to get that light? Christ is going to teach that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Right? Let's keep reading.
But godliness is an abomination to a sinner.
Keep reading.
Verse 26. If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments.
Do what?
Keep the commandments.
If you want that light to shine, you got to do what?
Keep the commandments.
So why you think in Matthew we said, let thy light shine? Let thy light shine. You let your light shine by doing what? Read, say that part again. Keep the what?
Keep the commandments.
Keep reading.
And the Lord shall give her unto thee.
Read.
Verse 27. For the fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction. And faith and meekness are his delight.
And faith and meekness is his delight. So let's go back. Jump up to verse 1 real quick of this chapter. No, not this one. Second Esdras 6. So that let's go back to Second Esdras 6. So that treasury, that light is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Read verse 1. Before you read that, let's hold that verse 1. We're gonna come back. Let's go back into the Bible. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 24. 1 Corinthians 1:24. Because it's all tied in together. Okay, go ahead and read that.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 24. But unto them which are called, both Jews and Greeks.
Right, southern kingdom, northern kingdom, right? Go ahead.
Christ, the power of God, and the wisdom of God.
In the what?
The wisdom of God.
Who?
The wisdom of God.
Christ is the what?
The wisdom of God.
Okay, let's read.
Verse 25. Because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men.
Right. So we see right there that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and it say, and the wisdom is God. It's God. They give the wisdom that keep that light, that treasures that's up in the third dimension, keeping that light here on the earth. Because we can read in Revelations, what that 21 or something, I believe, where it say that in the time period there will be no more sun or no moon on the earth. So what's going to keep that light shining? It's going to be the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of who? You, the so-called Israelite. That's why you see that light before we even get to Genesis, the 4th chapter. I mean, Genesis 1 and 4, before they say, let there be light. And the stars and the moon was created. So we already had light, and it came from Yahweh, right? And I'm going to show you what's on real quick. Let's go to, hold on one second. Go to 2nd Esdras 3 and 5, I believe. Back into the Apocrypha. Read that.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 3 and verse 5. And gavest a body.
No, that ain't the one. 2nd Esdras 9 and 18. That's the one I want. 9 and 18. Right. So if everything was being created at that time, and you say like knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, where did that come from? Why was there knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and we didn't even have an earth or nothing at all? Let's see where it comes from. Let's read.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 18. And now when I prepared the world.
When he what?
Prepared the world.
When he prepared the world or the earth in the beginning, right? Go ahead.
Which was not yet made.
Was not made yet. Go ahead.
Even for them to dwell in that now live.
Even for them, pay attention. Even for them to dwell in. Who to dwell in? Keep reading.
No man spake against me.
Hold on. So before the earth, the stars, the moon, and all this stuff we created, those spirits was already created. Already. Say, no man spake against me. Before the world, the foundation, anything was created. Right? Let's keep reading verse 19.
Verse 19. For then everyone obeyed.
Who?
Everyone obeyed.
All those spirits obeyed the Most High. That's where you get that light, that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Why? No man spoke against him at that time. He created the earth so we can dwell upon this earth. Men became a living foundation. And we became that living foundation here on the earth. That's when we started going off. But when we was up in the third dimension, it was order. And you obeyed. It's like those angels obeyed. You obeyed. You was there at the beginning. Your spirit was already created before the foundations of the earth was even made. The spirit of men was already created. Let's keep reading.
But now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed.
You see there? Then when we got on the earth, we became corrupted. But when we was in the third dimension, we obeyed. Let's read.
And by a law which is unsearchable, rid themselves.
Right. Keep reading.
Verse 20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it.
Right. There were peril devices that came into our spirits, man, and took over. We started going off. Right. Let's keep reading.
Verse 21. And I saw and spared it greatly. and have kept me a grape of the cluster and a plant of a great people.
Right. He kept us a plant of great people, man. He always did. The Most High always preserved us since the day you was up in the spiritual realm, man. Right? I don't even think y'all know what we reading here. Your mind can't even fathom what we reading. Right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 22. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect.
Made it perfect. He made it perfect. Right? So even like, let's go to watch this. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Let's see what the Most High told Jeremiah. The spirits was already created before the earth. Right? Even when you die, your body goes to the dirt and your spirit go back up to the third round, back up to the Most High. Everybody, good, bad, we all go back. All go back to the day of judgment, right? So let's read that. Jeremiah 1, let's start at verse 4. Jeremiah 1 and 4. Go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1 and verse 4. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, verse 5, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
Right. So the Most High told Jeremiah, before you even got in your mama's womb, when you was a spirit up there in the third dimension, I already knew who you were. Not just Jeremiah, each and every last one of us. He knew each and every last one of us before we came into our parents' life or to the womb or into the seed of a man, the loins of a man. Right? The Most High already knew you when you became that seed in the loins of your father into the womb of your mother. He already knew the spirit of you. He knew you was going to be good, evil, wicked. He created all spirits. He didn't just create all good spirits. He created good and evil. Right? Keep reading.
And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee.
Right. He sanctified Jeremiah. Right? So I hope y'all understand what we're reading. Now let's go back to second Esdras. But this time, let's go to verse 3 and let's read at 3 and 5.
Which one? Chapter 9 or chapter 6?
Chapter 3 and verse 5. Let's go back to second Esdras. That's why I say when we read the book of Genesis, it's deeper than what you think. It's way deeper than what you go to your Christian church and they just read it. In the beginning, God gave light, and the evening and the morning was the first day. And that's it, man. You gotta dig into this Bible, man. You gotta take the meat off the bone. You read everything surface level, man. You're not doing your due diligence. You're not studying. You're not researching. You're not taking the time to do your homework. You just reading surface level, man. And that's why a lot of brothers go off. That's why a lot of Christians go off. That's why when all hell break loose on the earth, they ain't gonna know how to navigate or get through the way this system is because they don't know how to read and study to show thyself improved. Right? So let's read that.
What chapter did you say again?
Second Esdras, chapter 3, and let's read verse 5.
Oh, 5. Okay, I was right there. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 3 and verse 5. And gavest a body unto Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of thine hands, and didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee.
Right. So that's the same thing with us, man. We became living. What was that breath of life? The commandments. When you read on, that breath that the Most High breathed into you was the commandments of God, right? And you became a living soul. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And thou leadest him into paradise.
Leading him into who?
Into paradise.
Right. So paradise was another thing formed or that was created before the foundations of the earth. Right? Go ahead.
which thy right hand had planted, before ever the earth came forward.
You see that? Paradise was created before the earth was even came forward, right? Read on.
Verse 7. And unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way, which he transgressed, and immediately thou appointedest death in him and in his generations, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number.
Right. So he set Adam into that paradise, right? And that paradise was created before the earth was even formed. Go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 8, and start at verse 52. I believe if it's 52, well, let me look at it. Read 52. Let me see what that say. Yeah, that's it.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras.
Start at verse 50. Go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 51. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. Verse 52.
52 is the point. Read.
For unto you is paradise opened.
Unto you is what?
Paradise opened.
That paradise was created before the earth was formed, and you were there with Adam. Right? Go ahead.
The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. Plenteousness is made ready. A city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom.
Go to Luke 23 and verse 40. And then hold this in the 2nd Esdras. We got to come back. So when Christ was talking to the thief on the cross, what did he tell him? Let's read it.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 23 and verse 40. But the other answering rebuked him, saying, Dost not thou fear God, seeing thou art in the same condemnation?
Right. So that's the thief talking to Yahweh. He said, don't you fear what's going to happen? Go ahead.
41. And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds.
We receive a reward for our what?
Receive the due reward of our deeds.
See, that brother don't think when you don't put in the work of the Most High, you're going to get a reward. If you don't do nothing, I say it all the time. You don't do nothing, you don't get nothing. You don't do nothing, you don't do the work, you got to do some form of work for the Most High. You got to teach some classes, you got to go out to camp, you got to put something together for the foundation. You got to do some form of work for the Most High. You just can't just sit around and just write precepts down and say, hey, man, I'm getting the kingdom. You're not going to get a reward, man. You want to be great in the kingdom. You don't want to be the least, right? The work you put in, that's the work you're going to get your reward. Let's keep reading.
But this man hath done nothing amiss. 42. And he said unto Jesus, Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom. 43. And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise.
In where?
In paradise.
Right. In paradise. You want to be with me in paradise. Right? So paradise is a place that out succeeds the earth. Right? So let's go back to, hold on one second. Let's go to, while we still in the Bible, let's go to Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 22. Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 22. So when we reading that light, let there be light, that knowledge wisdom and understanding that goes through Christ, that gives light upon the earth, right? Let's read Proverbs 8:22 down to 31.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old.
Mm-hmm.
23. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was.
Mm-hmm. 24.
When there was no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no foundations abounding with water. 25.
That's Yahweh speaking. He said, before the foundation of the earth, it was me. Before the depths of the water, I was there. Let's keep reading. You were there too. But he was the first creation, right? Go ahead.
Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. 26. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. 27. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth. 28. When he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep. 29. When he gave to the sea his decree, that the waters should not pass his commandment, when he appointed the foundations of the earth. 30. Then I was by him, as one brought up with him.
Right.
And
I was by him. Who? The Father. Go ahead.
And I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him. 31. Rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth, and my delights were with the sons of men.
Right, with the sons of men, the sons of God. That was us. Right. So drop that. Drop that. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 35. All of this ties in together because we established the foundation that Christ was the beginning. He was the first creation that was ever created. We established that the Most High, he's the Ancient of Days. He don't have no time stamp. He just is. He just is. You can't say, oh, he started here or he gonna end here. He just exists. We don't know how. We don't know where. We don't know how he developed. And we know damn sure it didn't come from two asteroids hitting the earth, hitting together. And the great bang, big bang, whatever they call the big bang thing, that didn't happen. And when they started doing the creation, the Most High gave the blueprint. He gave it to who? His son. His son was the architect to get the angels to start developing with these things. And he was the light. And we was that light upon the earth by what? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because we say when we was there before the foundation, we obeyed. We didn't disagree. We didn't start going off till we came a living seed on the earth. Right? So read that. And this ties into that light. Go ahead, read that.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 35. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. Right.
So the Lord is giving the ordinance of the light. He's saying the moon, the sun, and the stars. When these things were created, right? Let's read.
Verse 36. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord.
There. If those ordinances stop shining up on the earth, the sun, the stars, and the moon, read.
Then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
Right. So that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that the Christ have created for us, it keeps the sun, the light, and the moon that you walk outside and see every day is there because of you. It's there because of your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding, your studying, your devout motivation to the Most High. That's keeping us from keeping us to being a nation. He said if those things depart, Israelites wouldn't even, we ain't gonna be in no nation again. When you see all of that stuff disappear, right? You the foundation of the earth. That's why I say ye are gods, but you're gonna die like men. Why are we gonna die like men? Because we just read it. When we was in the third dimension, we wasn't going off till we became a living seed. Now we going off. Now we feeling lust, desire, right? Lies. All of these things is in the heart of man, what we read in Mark chapter 7. All these things come into your mind. But when we was in there, the foundation, right? Now that we're coming back as a nation, the nation of Israel, we keeping that light that you see shining out there. Every day is for the so-called white man, because he enjoying it. He on this big old yacht out there in the water, enjoying your beautiful moon. He taking his wife out there, eating grapes out there in the moonlight. Why? Because of your knowledge, your wisdom, and your understanding. That's why you see those ordinances, right? So drop that, Mahar. Now let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 1. Second Esdras chapter 6 verse 1.
Let me close it.
Yeah, keep that open. Keep that apocrypha open.
No, I went to click on the tab and I accidentally hit the X button on it.
Oh, okay. Let's start from verse 1.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 1. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew. Verse 2. Before it thundered and lightened, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid.
Hold on. The what? The foundation of who?
The foundations of paradise were laid.
You see that? Paradise was there. Let's keep going.
Verse 3. Before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established. Before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together. Verse 4. Or ever the heights of the air were lifted up. Before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys in Zion were hot. 5. And ere the present years were sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned.
Stop right there. Read verse 5 again from the top.
And ere the present years were sought out, and or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned.
Right. That's because when we became a living foundation, that's when we started going off. Keep reading.
Before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure.
For who?
For a treasure.
That treasure is what? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Let's go.
Verse 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, through none other.
And what?
And through none other.
And none other. Go ahead.
By me also they shall be ended, and by none other.
Go ahead.
Verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
Right. So we know the rest of that. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's going to be the end. End of what? The end of Esau rulership and the beginning of your rulership. That's when the kingdom will be established here on the earth that we read about. Right. We always go, when we do this, we always jump to verse 9. We skip over the whole creation and how before all of these things were formed, that Yahweh was there before all of these things. That's why I say he declared the end before the beginning. He wrote the end of the book, then he then he started writing the beginning. It's kind of funny because what do Hebrew, when you read Hebrew, it read from what? It read from left to right.
The right to
right
the left.
To left, right?
Oh,
Right.
is it left?
Is you're reading it from left to right. We read our books from what? Right to left. Now hold on, I'm saying it wrong. I'm saying it wrong.
Come. It's
I'm
from
saying
right
it
to
wrong.
left, King.
We read our books from left to right. Hebrew is read right to left, the other way around. So he declared the end in the beginning. He probably was writing everything down at the end and he started at the end of the book while we started at the beginning of the book writing notes. He started at the back of the book, right? That's why he say, my ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are greater than your thoughts. That's why we can't get on the level of the Most High, right? And we'll never get on this level, ever, right? We'll be joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, right? So let's go back to Genesis. You see all of that? We connected. Hold on, before we go there, let me get one more precept before we go back to Genesis. Stay in Second Esdras, go to chapter 14, and let's read verse 1. Second Esdras 14 and verse 1. And then we come back to verse 6 too. Go ahead.
This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 14 and verse 1.
Hold on, before we get that, let's go back. Let's go to Exodus real quick. Let's go to Exodus 34 and 29. Then we'll come back here. So keep this tab up. Right? Because we even know, like, Moses wrote the book of Genesis. So before he wrote the book, when he went on the Mount Sinai, he was there for 40 days and 40 nights. For what? So he can learn the elements of how everything was created. That's how he knew to write these things down. He was up there being a student of Christ, telling him the elements of how everything was created, how this worked, how that worked. He knew all of these things. That's how he knew how to write it down. So let's read that first.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 29. And it came to pass, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tables of testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses wist not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him.
So when Moses was up in the 3rd dimension, he was really talking to Yahweh Shai. And when he was talking to him, right, he actually can see let me go to Revelation real quick. Revelation 1 and 14. We read this all the time. Because you got to remember he was in this glorified body. So let's read that.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. 16. And he had in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword, and his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength.
That's the part I want to read. His countenance was what?
Was as the sun shineth in his strength.
Right. So when we pull up these pictures of Christ, he always have a bright aura around his face. See if you can pull up something like that, like on our camp sign. When we read that, it's always a shiny aura around his face. See if you can pull up a picture of that.
I don't think I have any of that saved on here.
Now just go to Google. I'm pretty sure that, you know, anytime somebody puts something on Google, it's gonna save you. Just pull up maybe the you know, the black Christ in the green garment, like we got on the camp sign. That's where I got it from. I got it from Google. Well, keep going. See, like I can only explain. Just click on the one with him who's sitting on the throne right here.
Oops, wrong one.
I can't find the one that we got. But see that, like that sun, that aura around his head. You see all of them pictures with the aura around? That's what it's talking about. Because even like back then, when he's in his glorified body, you can't really see his face that good because you can see that shining glory, that aura around him. Right? So go back to Revelation and read that part again. That ain't really a good picture, like I was saying. We got it better on the campsite. Read that again.
And he had in his right hand 7 stars, and out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword, and his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength.
Right, like the sun's shining in his strength. Now let's go back where we left off on Exodus 34 about Moses. Because Moses had that same aura. He get that aura from what? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding will let that light shine. You got it too. You got it too. You just can't see it because if you're studying, you're reading, you're fasting, you're praying, you're doing everything the Most High told you to do and more, you will get that more aura around you, that glow, that shine that Moses had it. Right? So let's read it back in Exodus chapter 34, where we left off. Read it from the top and we're going to keep reading.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 34 and verse 29. And it came to pass, when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the tables of testimony in Moses' hand, when he came down from the mount, that Moses wist not that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him.
The skin of his face shone when he talked with him. Let's keep reading.
Verse 30. And when Aaron and all the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone.
The skin of his face was shining. Go ahead.
And they were afraid to come nigh him.
They were scared to come near him because he had that aura. Because after you get the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, that light going to shine upon you. You're going to have that aura on you. Right? Go ahead.
31. And Moses called unto them, and Aaron and all the rulers of the congregation returned unto him, and Moses talked with them. 32. And afterward all the children of Israel came nigh, and he gave them in commandment all that the Lord had spoken with him in Mount Sinai.
Wow, he gave them the commandments. Keep reading.
33. Until Moses had done speaking with them, he put a veil on his face.
He put a what on his face?
A veil on his face.
Right, because the light was shining too bright. Go ahead.
34. But when Moses went in before the Lord to speak with him, he took the veil off.
He took it off. He took it off. Why? Because it's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding amongst knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Go ahead.
Until he came out. And he came out and spake unto the children of Israel that which he was commanded.
Right. Keep reading. 35.
35. And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face shone, and Moses put the veil upon his face again until he went in to speak with him.
Right. So we see that's why. If we would have just read that scripture, you wouldn't even know what it's talking about. You'd have been like, his face was showing. What that mean? Right? That aura, that continent, that wisdom, that understanding. You know when brothers got it. When you see certain brothers, you say, he got it. He the one, right? Certain elders and teachers that you speak to, you can tell they got that. Right? Now let's go to 2nd Esdras, the 14th chapter, verse 1. He said, we ain't even got out of, we still in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 5. We ain't even, and we almost been in here almost 2 hours, right? That's how deep Genesis is, man. You just can't read it on a surface level, right? But go ahead and read that.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 14 and verse 1. And it came to pass upon the 3rd day, I sat under an oak, and behold, there came a voice out of a bush over against me, and said, Esdras, Esdras. Verse 2. And I said, Here am I, Lord, and I stood up upon my feet. Verse 3. Then said he unto me, In the bush I did manifestly reveal myself unto Moses, and talked with him, when my people served in Egypt.
Right, so that bush, burning bush, was Yahweh. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And I sent him and led my people out of Egypt, and brought him up to the mount of where I held him by me a long season.
Read.
Verse 5. And told him many wondrous things, and showed him the secrets of the times and the end.
In the end. He showed Moses all of these things, the secrets of time and the end. Go ahead.
And commanded him, saying, verse 6, These words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide.
Right. He said, these words you write plain upon tables, and these words you make them secret in the Bible. That's why we always say the Bible is written in similitudes, allegory. Some things is right on the surface you can read, right? Some things you just got to figure it out. You got to study and show thyself approved. They secrets in the Bible. Keep reading.
Verse 7. And now I say unto thee, verse 8, that thou lay up in thy heart the signs that I have showed, and the dreams that thou hast seen, and the interpretations which thou hast heard.
Right. A lot of times when you get those dreams, you don't know what they mean. They had interpreters back in the day, right? Joseph was one. Right. Keep reading.
Verse 9. For thou shalt be taken away from all, and from henceforth thou shalt remain with my son, and with such as be like thee, until the times be ended. Verse 10. For the world hath lost his youth, and the times begin to wax old.
Right. And now we get to the end. But we're going to stop it right there, because we're talking about the beginning of creation. Right. He's going to talk about how the foundation is getting worse and worse, like we see in Matthew chapter 24, wars and rumors of war. That's where we at right now. We at the end. Right. So we're really talking about the beginning. So let's go back to Genesis chapter 1, and let's start at verse 6. So now we understand. Anybody got any questions so far? Where we at? Anybody got any questions? Everybody good? If you good, let me see a happy face, a heart, or something pop up on the screen if you understand. I want to see if I'm just sleeping.
Shalom, King.
See no names pop up. I know that person sleeping on camera.
I need you to, hey, Elder, I need you to come get me, man. We in a deep hole.
Right. Right. I know sometimes, bro, I can understand, brothers, last week when Elder Labs was on, I fell asleep, bro. I ain't gonna even lie, bro. I was exhausted, bro. I was so freaking tired, man. I tried to hold on, man. I just like fell on the floor. Micaiah came and got me, say, Daddy, what the heck happened to you? I said, man, I'm just so tired, bro. My weeks be busy, bro. Plus, I was sick last week too, bro. I was bed rested for about 3 days, man. My stomach had, oh man. I'm better now, praises to the Most High. So let's go and let's start at verse 6. So now we got the light. That light come from Yahwahshi giving that treasure, the light unto us that keep that light that was there in the beginning on the earth. That's why when we read in Revelation, when he say the moon is darkened and the sun, be quiet, because we're going to have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right, let's read, Mahar.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 6. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Verse 7. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so.
Right, read verse 8.
Verse 8. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day.
So read the next verse. We'll read down to 9.
Verse 9. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And
Right.
it was so.
Right. And that really gave you the answer of what the firmament is. The firmament is the waters above the heavens that divide the heavens from the earth. That's what it's talking about. And we're going to get a couple precepts to prove that. Let's go to Psalms chapter 148 in verse 4. Right? Because the firmament is that waters above the heavens and the earth. That's why when we read in the book of we'll say let the when he opened up the windows of heaven, you know. So when he most high opened up the windows of heaven, that's that water that's coming down from heaven. The waters that dividing the heavens from the earth. Let's read that. That verse.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 148 and verse 4. Praise him, ye heavens of heavens, and ye waters that be above the heavens.
Right, the waters that are above the heavens. That's what it's a firmament is. It's dividing the earth from the heaven. And let's go to Revelations chapter 4 and verse 6. I'm gonna get a couple precepts on this. But when we're done with that firmament, you're gonna be known that waters that dividing is really a dome. That's why when Esau tried to do his space travel and all that stuff, he can only go so far up in that sky. He failed every time. I think they got a video with a rocket go up in the air and it bounces and it come back down. They're like, what the hell was that? That's because it hit the firmament. It can't go up that high. And good thing they say they went to the moon and all that stuff, bro. They ain't been no dang on moon. None of that. But the moon and the sun is inside of the firmament. So it's a chance that they may be able to go to the moon, but I don't think they never will. They can only go so far depths in the sea of the earth, in the water. They go down too far, it'll burst because of the pressure, right? That's why when they make those suits, they make it the same way for the depths of the earth and the above of the earth. Those swimming suits and those space suits, they almost designed exactly the same. So let's read that, Mahar.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 4 and verse 6. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal. A sea of glass.
And that's that dome above the firmament. You can't get out that dome. It's a dome right over the firmament of the earth. You can only go so far up and so far under, right? Go ahead. It's glass like what?
Like unto crystal. And in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind.
Like go to Amos chapter 9 verse 6. So that firmament is like a dome, a water, a clear glass. You can't go above that glass. You know why? If Esau can get above the firmament, you know he'd be up there trying to take over the throne of God. You already know he's the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's why in 1 Thessalonians it tells him that he want to be God. He set himself up as God. If he can go up there, he'll try to take over. Just like they try to do all these little countries and stuff. So go ahead and read that, Mark.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 6. It is he that buildeth his stories in the heaven, and hath founded his troop in the earth. He that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth.
Right. So he
The
poured
Lord,
the waters down from the heavens, from the third dimension. He opened up the glass or whatever, the window, that glass, that clear glass, and let it rain upon earth. That's what it's saying. Go ahead.
the Lord is his name.
The Lord is his name. Right. We'll go to Job 26 and 10.
This is the book of Job, chapter 26 and verse 10. He hath compassed the waters with bounds until the day and night come to an end.
Right. They can't go so far in depths of the water that's beneath the earth. The dry land beneath the earth. That's why they try to take their submarines so far down, they can't go down there because it explode. It's too much pressure. And that's the same way of them trying to go up into the third dimension. Man can't get there. That's why they have a thing called Jacob's ladder. Jacob's ladder, you transition from Jacob's ladder. That's how the angels do their traveling. When they come from the third dimension down to the earth, they come down what's called Jacob's ladder. I don't know what scripture is that, but we ain't got time to find it either. Go to we'll get one more. Go back to 2nd Esdras chapter 6, and we're gonna read verse 41. Where we left off. 2nd Esdras.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 41. Upon the second day thou madest the spirit of the firmament, and commandest it to part asunder, and to make a division betwixt the waters, that the one part might go up, and the other remain beneath.
Right. One part is up and one part is beneath. You can't go to the part that's up. Why? Because it's a river of clear glass dividing the firmament from the earth. Keep reading.
42. Upon the third day thou didst command that the waters should be gathered in the seventh part of the earth. 6 parts hast thou dried up, and kept them, to the intent that of these some, being planted of God and tilled, might serve thee. 43.
Let's go back to Genesis. Go ahead and read the evening and the morning verse. We start at verse 9. Because you got to remember what I told y'all. The Most High is about the divine order. So we say the evening and the morning was the second day. Go to that word evening real quick. Take on that in the strong definition. I'm going to show you the divine order of the Most High. When does the evening start? Go ahead, my heart.
It is Strong's H6153, Areb, and it is evening, night, sunset, evening, sunset, night.
Right. So when the evening starts, it's night. It's at night. I mean, the sun is fully going down. It's at night. Why? Because it's a divine order Most High. Everything starts from the darkness before the light. Right? So let's go. Let's go back and let's read. Read verse 9.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 9. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. Verse 10. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good.
Right.
Verse 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so.
Read.
Verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. 13. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
Right. So click back over the second address real quick. Where we was at 42 or 3. It started verse 43 because it's saying the same exact thing. Just read a couple of verses.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 43.
Right. So what you read in Genesis, you can read right here. Go ahead.
For as soon as thy word went forth, the work was made. 44. For immediately there was great and innumerable fruit, and many and diverse pleasures for the taste, and flowers of unchangeable color, and odors of wonderful smell. And this was done the third day.
The third day. Let's read 45 and we'll stop right there. Then we'll go back to Genesis 1 and 14.
Verse 45. Upon the fourth day, thou commandest that the sun should shine, and the moon give her light, and the stars should be in order.
Right. The moon and the stars, the sun shine, and the moon give its light. Right. And stars be in order. All right. Now let's go to Genesis chapter 1 and 14.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and
Did
verse
we
14.
Did we read 13?
Con.
Okay, yeah, read 14. Yep.
And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
Right, for days. And you say that divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons and for days and years. Right? Go ahead.
15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so.
Read.
16. And God made two great lights.
God made two great lights, what we just read in 2nd Esdras 14 and 43. Go ahead.
The greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night.
Right, that's the sun and the moon. Right? Right? So just take a pause right there real quick. Give me Sirach chapter 43. Because a lot of times what brothers do, they make doctrines out of this one little verse. They say, see that? When the moon was made, it was made a light. So that's why they say the new moon is the full moon, which is going off. You're going off. Because now what you're doing, you're coming out of the divine order of the Most High. Divine order of the Most High is what? Darkness comes first, and then what comes next? What comes next, brothers?
Light.
The light. So you can't have light and then darkness. That's going out of the divine order. We done read all the way through all of these scriptures. Now we get down to verse 14 through 16. Now all of a sudden the new moon is a light. That's going off. And I'm going to show you that's going off. Because the new moon, in order for it to be new, you have to start with darkness. Before you was born, what were you? In darkness before you came into the light. Before the earth was formed, it was formed without void. And all of a sudden, the moon and the stars was just born with void. You started off with as a seed. A plant was a seed, right? Give me, hold that in the rock 43, my heart. Give me real quick. Go to Exodus. Oh my God, I wasn't even trying to do this. Let me look it up real quick. I'm gonna show you something. We're gonna go into the definition of new moon real quick. It's in Exodus. I don't know why I got a brain fart, man. Matter of fact, let's go to 1 Samuel 20 and verse 5. Let me show you something before we go to Sirach. First Samuel 20 and 5. Let's read that.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 20 and verse 5.
This is King David getting ready to celebrate the new moon. Let's read it.
And David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon.
Click on new moon. We're going to see what's the definition of new moon. And you know what really kills me too? People say, well, we can't go into the Hebrew because we don't have the pure language. But ask me one question. Why you got a Hebrew name? How did your Bible get translated from Hebrew to Greek? And all of a sudden, we don't know the Hebrew, but you got a Bible that got translated. You go to the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary and read, there were 18 scholars that took the Hebrew and made it blah, blah. It was 3 for the Apocrypha, but all of a sudden, we don't know the Hebrew, right? Because when you go into these things, it just cuts you right there, just cut your whole doctrine in half. So let's read new moon. What it mean? Go ahead, Mahar.
It is Strong's H2320, Kodesh.
Kodesh. So let's read it.
The new moon, monthly, the first day of the month, the lunar month. Strong's definition, the new moon, by implication, a monthly new moon. Jacinius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon, the new moon, the day of the new moon, the kalends of a lunar month, which was a festival of the ancient Hebrews.
Right, now let's click on that word Kodash at the top, please.
Strong's H2318, Kadash, to be new.
To be what?
To be new, renew, repair.
To be what?
Repair.
So if you're repairing something, that means it's not completed. So a full moon is already completed. A new moon is being repaired. It's being repaired from a dark moon into a new moon, to a full moon. So how can you have an already repaired moon? That's coming out of the divine order of the Most High. When you're saying the full moon is the new moon, that's going off. You're going off. You're going off. You have to be repaired. That's just like if I say, I'm going to put a house on this part of this, on this land. I got 10 acres of land. You think I can just throw a house there, or it got to be built up to be a house, a fully repaired house, an operative house? That's the divine order of the Most High. So when you're saying the full moon is the new moon, you're coming out of the divine order of the Most High, and you can't do that. So now, keep reading the rest of the definitions, and we'll go to Sirach.
To renew, make anew, to repair, to renew oneself.
Right. And that's what it means to renew oneself. How you renew yourself, man? You're coming out of darkness into the light. Come on, man. This is too easy, man. Y'all got to quit listening to these so-called the bishops and deacons and all of these, man, and do your own due diligence. You can have a whole congregation of people led the wrong way because they don't listen. They take the word of man. Now let's go to Sirach and we're going to break it down the right way. Sirach 43. So when we read verses 1 all the way down, it's really just talking about the moon. I mean, it starts off talking about the sun. So we just gonna skip over all of that about the sun. So it's really just saying like the sun and the moon is inside of the firmament. Remember, the firmament is in glass. The sun and the moon is inside of that firmament, right? So let's go down to verse 6. Start at verse 5 and we'll read verse 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Now let's read it the correct way.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 43 and verse 5. Great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment runneth hastily. Verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times.
Stop right there. Reading is an art. If you know how to read and comprehend, it's an art. Anytime you got a comma, what do a comma mean, brothers? Declaration of time. Who know English around here? Who know proper grammar?
You stop.
You starting a whole new conversation, right? That's what it's talking about. Look it up. So when you got a declaration of time, you pause and then you read on. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Mar.
And a sign of the world.
Read verse 7.
Verse 7. From the moon is the sign of feast.
Boom. What's right there behind feast? A comma. That means now the subject matter is about to change. It's about to change. So we stop. The moon is a sign of feast. The feast days, of course. We use the moon to decide what determine the feast days, right? Comma. Now let's read it.
Mahar, a light that decreases in her perfection.
Right, a light that decreases. What do it mean, a light that decreases? Certain feast days, it's a full moon, bro. Passover, full moon. Right? Feast of Tabernacle, it's a full moon. That's why it decreases after those feast days. Don't get it twisted, right? Now let's read verse 8.
Verse 8. The month is called after her name.
What that word month mean in Hebrew? New moon. The month mean moon in Hebrew. So now we talking about the new moon. Verse 7 ain't even talking about no new moon. You going off when you're reading verse 7 and say, see, there was a light first, and then it went down and decreased. So that in order for the new moon to be a full moon, because it decreases, you're going off because you don't know how to do reading and comprehension. Now you're talking about the new moon, the month, the new moon. You can look at any concordance, it'll tell you month mean new moon. The new moon is called after her name. What the new moon do? It increases. It's increasing. Now the new moon is increasing from a dark moon into a full moon. Let me get this verse in another translation. Let me get it in the Good News translation. Let me look at that verse in the Good News. Verse 8 in the Good News. Blow it up so everybody can see it. No, I don't like that one. Give me another one. Give me the ESV or something.
It doesn't look like there's an ESV, but there's a RSV.
But let me see what that one said. Still got that word month. I wanted to. It's one that tell you that it's another. Give me another.
Let me see where.
Let me see if I can look it up real quick too.
The NRSV. Oh, didn't want to go to the next one. I don't like the way this thing zooms in.
There it go right there. Read 7 and verse 8 together. Blow it up some more if you can. Go ahead and read 7. Go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 7 in the NRSV. From the moon comes the sign for festal days, a light that wanes when it completes its course.
Right, so we're talking about feast days, that light. Right, now let's read verse 8.
Verse 8. The new moon, as its name suggests, renews itself.
It do what?
Renews itself.
And we read that in the concordance, repair, renew. It renews itself. How it renews itself? From a dark moon, it's renewing itself to a full moon. Go ahead.
How marvelous it is in this change.
After it changes, after it go from the dark moon, it's changing to what?
A beacon to the hosts on high, shining in the vault of the heavens.
When it's shining, it's a full moon. Easy, 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 easy. Right? Now let's go back to the one in King James. Easy, that easy. It's that easy. Don't let nobody be with you. Right? So read verse 8 again.
The month is called after her name.
The new moon is called after her name.
Increasing wonderfully in her changing.
Increasing. Go ahead.
Being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven.
Right, because when we read verse 7, it tells you that when it's a full moon, it's in its perfection. It's perfect. When you come out of darkness into the light, you're that perfect specimen that Christ talked about when he said, let there be light. It's just that easy, man. When you don't do it the right way, you come out of the divine order of the Most High, right? So let's just go on and finish up Genesis, because we've really been on here for a long time, but I kind of did that because I knew today we was supposed to go to camp, but we knew it was going to start raining at 4 o'clock, so we rather keep it cave. You ain't got no time limit on the Lord's work or the Most High. God ain't got no time limit on his word. We can be here 24 hours studying. Right? It said Paul, they went in the synagogue daily. They was opening up the Bible every day. Right? And they didn't have no time limit on what the class was going to be. Right? So let's start at verse 16 again. That's why I say quit reading things surface level. We call them surface level Israelites, man. They read some surface level, they start a whole doctrine on it. You see how we just broke the whole thing down? Go ahead and read, Mar. 16. Let's keep going.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 16. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, He made the stars also. Verse 17. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth.
Right. So those was inside of the firmament. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. Verse 19. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. Verse 20. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven.
Right.
Verse 21. And God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind.
Stop right there. Click on that word whale real quick. Let's see what
whale is Strong's H8577 Tanin. And it is dragon, serpent, sea monster, dragon or dinosaur, sea or river monster, serpent, venomous snake.
Right. So this really going into what we call dinosaurs, because at that time they were dinosaurs up on the earth. Right. Go to Job chapter 1, 41 and 1. 41 and verse 1. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 40, Job 40 and 15. Job 40, 15. Those whales and those sea monsters or whatever, those were dinosaurs upon the earth at that time. So let's read that.
This is the book of Job, chapter 40 and verse 15. Behold, now Behemoth.
Who?
Behemoth.
Behemoth. That's what it's talking about. That dinosaur. Go ahead.
Which I made with thee. He eateth grass as an ox.
He eateth grass like an ox. Go ahead.
16. Lo, now his strength is in his loins, and his force is in the navel of his belly. 17. He moveth his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his stones are wrapped together.
Right. So he moves his tail like a cedar tree. That's that big dinosaur with that long tail. Right. I don't know what they call it. I know if I call Micaiah right now, he'd tell me the Tyrannosaurus or whatever it is. Go ahead.
It's like a brontosaurus or something.
Yeah. Micaiah, come here. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Verse 18. His bones are as strong pieces of brass. His bones are like bars of iron. Verse 19. He is the chief of the ways of God. He that made him can make his sword to approach unto him. Verse 20. Surely the mountains bring him forth food, where all the beasts of the field play. Verse 21. He lieth under the shady trees, in the covert of the reed and fens.
Right.
Verse 22. The shady trees cover him with their shadow. The willows of the brook compass him about. Verse 23. Behold, he drinketh up a river and hasteth not.
Right.
He trusteth.
Go ahead.
He trusteth that he can draw up Jordan into his mouth.
All right, that's it on that. You can read the next one, and that's it on that.
Verse 24. He taketh it with his eyes, his nose pierceth through snares.
Right. What's the name of the biggest dinosaur?
Argentinosaurus.
No, the one that eat the leaves off the tree.
Argentinosaurus.
With the long tail?
Yes.
It's a who?
It's a Titanosaurus.
A who?
Titanosaurus.
All right, that's all I want to get out of here. All right, let's go to 41 and verse 1. So whatever he said that was, that probably was one of those, a Tyrannosaurus. Right?
Tyrannosaurus.
Well, whatever. go ahead and read that more.
Book of Job, chapter 41 and verse 1. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down?
Right. So this is a sea animal that's under the water. The sea animal is so great and big, he's in the depths of the water. That's why the Esau they can't find these animals, right? They can't find them because they still exist, but they in places of the earth where the so-called white man can't reach. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 2, Canst thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Verse 3, will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Verse 4, will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever?
Not right there. Let's go back. Let's go back to Genesis. We ain't gonna really be too much longer around here because that's like I say, we've been on here for almost 2.5 hours. So we just gonna finish that Genesis out, but you can read the rest. When y'all read the rest, make sure y'all go to 2nd Esdras, the 14th chapter, and you can read almost the same thing that we bringing up right here. But I would, when my heart read it, I would just break it down without really going to too many scriptures, so we can go on and finish up. So go ahead, Mahar, where we left off.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 21. And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind.
Right. So one of those creatures was Leviathan in the water. Go ahead.
And God saw that it was good. Verse 22. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. Verse 23. And the evening and the morning were the 5th day.
Right.
Verse 24. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so.
Right. So if you read 2nd Esdras, the 14th chapter, it's going more into depth. Go ahead.
25. And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. Verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image.
Right. Let's stop right there. Let's make man in our image. It's not talking about, when he say our image, it's not talking about because he got woolly hair, you got woolly hair. That ain't what it's talking about. Let's go to Romans chapter 8 and verse 29. Romans 8:29. Let's see what he's talking about. Let's make man in our image. Let's read that.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 29. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
Keep reading.
Verse 30. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. Verse 31. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? Verse 32. He that spared not his own Son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things?
Right. So that images is predestinated is what we was talking about the knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Right. So let's go back and let's finish this off so we can go ahead and end this class. But I think if I don't come back next Sabbath, we'll start in Genesis, the 2nd chapter, but we'll move a little bit faster. But today, hey, we just have to go in depth, man. Sometimes it just got to be that way, man. We just can't be taking shortcuts, short corners, you know. You know, you go to a movie and you say, what's that movie that about 3-4 hours long? The Lord of the Rings. You go in there and sit down for about 4 hours. Don't complain. You go in there and see what the Avatar movie. You sit there and watch them all day long. You sit there and watch them different chapters on Netflix. I done watched the whole whole season in one day. So hey, sometimes we can't be shortcutting the Most High word. Sometimes we're gonna be on here for an hour. Sometimes we might be on here longer. It's all in the spirit of what the Most High want us to do. You know, how he want us to move. We ain't on no punch clock. We ain't on no job punching the clock. You got to remember, the Sabbath ain't over until when, brothers? When the Sabbath and when the sun go down, when it's dark. So when we get off this class, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing with your Sabbath? You stop studying and you say, okay, the class is off. Let me turn LeBron on. Let me finish watching the NBA finals. Or let me start I was on this level on PlayStation 5. Let me turn that back on. And you doing it on the side, man. Come on. Still stay in the spirit of the Most High. Right? So we're gonna go on and finish this class off. But just remember, brothers, sometimes we have to go in depth. Okay, that's the only way we're gonna get closer to the Most High. Especially we need to get closer to the Most High the days and times that we're living in today. So let's go ahead, Mahar. Let's keep going.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 26. Mm-hmm. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Mm-hmm. Verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
Right. So at that time, before when man was created, he just didn't create one man and one woman. He created fowls of birds and fowls of cattle and fowls of insects and fowls of fish. He also created fowls of men and women. But no one man, one woman, like the so-called white man portray. Right? The so-called white man is off in so many levels. He tell you that the sun is older than the earth. They created the sun first and then the earth. We just read in the Bible that the sun and the moon were created to the fourth day. So who are we going to listen to, the so-called white man, or are we going to listen to the Most High? I'm listening to the Most High. Because he going to say that the earth revolves around, I don't know how I say it, how the earth revolves around the sun, but it's really the other way around. The sun revolves around the earth. Ain't no damn earth revolving around no sun. That's going on. The Bible tell you that the sun revolves around earth. Plus, the sun is inside the firmament. It ain't even outside the dimension of earth, man. It's right there. Right? So let's keep reading.
Verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
Right. Keep reading.
Verse 29. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat.
Right. The seed, the herbs that we eat, even marijuana, don't get it twisted, it's for healing. But what did the Most High say marijuana was for? It's a herb. It's for what? To be eating, not to be rolling up in a damn blunt. That's some man-made crap. They take them cigarette, what they call them, the tobacco, or what I can't remember. Cigars.
Them little papers.
Yeah, they get the cigars, or they get them the weed papers. Esau made. You get there and get that nice herb the Most High gave you. You roll it up and you burn it and you smoke it. That ain't how the Most High told you to do it. People say, yeah, I smoke I got my marijuana card. Yeah, I got my marijuana card because I'm trying to heal myself. No, that ain't how you do it. The Most High say you're supposed to eat it. Put it in your salad. Crush it up. Blend it in the blender with the rest of your kales and stuff like that. That's how you're supposed to do it. But when you go outside of the Most High, you're going on, you're leaning onto your own thought, your own way, your own understanding. The Most High got everything blueprinted and mapped out how he wanted to be done. We read that earlier. You just can't be going outside of the blueprint. If he say do it this way, that's the way you do it. Not listening to your so-called homie on the corner, on the street, homie in high school. Yeah, let's go smoke this blunt. No, you go eat it. Right? So anyway, when he read verse 30 again.
That's the one that we're on.
Yeah, read it again.
Verse 30.
29 and 30.
Verse 29. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree,
right,
in the which
every herb, every tree, go ahead.
In the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed.
Is a tree that's a what?
Yielding seed.
Right, because all the fruits got seeds in it. Somehow today we eating watermelon. Mother ain't got no dang. I remember when we was little, mama say, y'all go out there and eat that watermelon. We used to be on the porch spitting seeds out. Now you get a watermelon, it's just like, man, where the damn seeds go? You get an orange, where the seeds at? You get a banana, where the seeds at? That's all Esau doing, man. He's taking away the natural youth of what the Most High got set up. That's why I say every bearing seed, all the fruits and vegetables supposed to have seeds in it. Every one. That's why I try to do my best when I'm going shopping. I try to get as much fruit that got the seed in it. If it say seedless watermelon, I leave that mud there. I don't want that. Give me the one I got to eat the seed. When I get the ones with the seeds in it, I eat the seeds in it too. When I blend it up in the little blender, because the seeds got the most nutrients in it. Eat the seed, eat the whole thing. Don't be spitting the seed out. That part is the best. That's the best part of the watermelon, right? So let's keep reading, Mahar.
Verse 30. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, right. And it was so.
Right. And the one thing about it, the Most High don't want you to do, he don't want you to mingle these seeds together either. He don't want you to take a melon seed and mingle it with this, and now you go to the grocery store. Yeah, I got a peach watermelon. What the hell is that? You don't supposed to be mixing seeds and stuff together. Right? You don't supposed to do that. That's Esau's doing. Right? Don't be buying that fruit. I remember one year I bought it. I didn't even know I bought it. My wife was like, you know, this fruit right here is like a melon mixed with a watermelon. I was like, oh, hell no. You got to be kidding me. I picked up the wrong fruit. I thought it was like one of them little small watermelons, one of the real little ones. And on the tag, when we read it, it was a mixed fruit. Right? Read 31. Let's finish it off.
Verse 31. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day.
Right, was the sixth day. But all praises to the Most High. We got through this class. So I just appreciate y'all brothers and sisters being patient. And like I say, some classes we might go in depth. Some classes we might just be on here for 15, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever, you know. But sometimes we have to go into these classes and dig into these classes and take the meat off the bone, the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? We just can't be cut the words of the Most High. You know, that's why I tell us to go precept upon precept, line upon line. And that's why the Most High, he said he loved every way. He loved the way of the precept when you read in the book of Psalms. So Anybody got any questions or any comments or anything before we get comments on this class? Or anybody was confused about something that was on this class that we went through? Anything that was kind of confused you or something? You might have took a little side note or something. Say, I don't understand that. What that mean? So everybody good? Go ahead, sis.
What you just said about eating the raw plant, does that mean that we're in sin if we're eating like chocolates or gummies?
No, because it's still being consumed. You know what I'm saying? Ain't like you taking a piece of chocolate and light a fire to it and smoke it, and you still consuming it. What it mean by meat, that means you eating it. So anything that's a herb, you're supposed to eat it or consume it, right? All right, I got brother Corey. What we got, brother?
Well, gummies contain pork, so you shouldn't be eating gummies.
I ain't hear what you said. Say it again.
So, well, gummies contain pork, so you shouldn't be eating gummies.
Yeah. Some of them do. Yeah, some of them do. You got some of them do, but then you got some that don't. Some of them is made out of beef
Kosher.
or something like
Kosher.
that. They got some, yeah.
You got some kosher gummies out there
capsules.
that doesn't contain pork.
Yeah, some of them capsules too. You have to get them. I forget. I don't know what the word is, brother. My wife, I let her deal with all that stuff, bro. Because me, I probably be eating pork all day. I be eating freaking Starbursts and all kind of crap. I don't be looking at nothing. My wife got to eat. Hey, what the hell are you doing? That's got pork in it. So I let her look at the labels, but yeah, a lot of that stuff, them gummies, Jello and marshmallows and stuff like that, they pertain some pork in it, but they do have some that you can't get, like maybe from the kosher grocery store and stuff like that, and some medicines and capsules that you take, it pertains pork. Even though sometimes when you go to the store and you get those beef hot dog, the casing is still a pork casing, so you got to be careful with them damn ballparks, man. Get you the Hebrew brand. You know what I'm saying? Even though you go to the store and they say, let me get some chicken sausages, it's still the casings is pork casings. So be careful a lot with a lot of that stuff, man. But at the end of the day, just do the best you can, man, and just do what you can do. Don't try to be overly too righteous too, but make sure you still check your products as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we got Sister Carmela. Go ahead, sis. Can you hear me, sis? Sister Carmel?
I'm sorry. I wanted to ask about Shalom. I wanted to ask about the dietary law. When do we study that? Or do we just,
Oh, no, we're going to get into that. That's one of my biggest topics right there, because what we're going to do, we're going to get into the dietary law. We're going to break down Romans 14. We're going to break down all them scriptures where Esau, your pastor, go to and say, every meat is good to eat and all that. We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
Do a class on that real soon.
Yeah. Shalom. Thank you.
Glad you reminded me about that. I probably did that class a while back, but something came up and something changed. But yeah, we're gonna do a class on all that about the dietary laws and all the false reading in the Bible where people go to and say all meat is clean and all meat is justified. They don't know what that's talking about. So we're gonna get into it. That's why I say you can't read this book on the surface level. When you read it on the surface level, you're going off.
So if I can, just interject the fact that we should be ingredient shoppers.
Yeah, with everything at this point,
you
gotta look at everything, even in the vegetables. You gotta look at the numbers on the vegetable, see which GMOs and pesticides in it and all of that stuff. Yeah. Yep. I be writing all that stuff down. I be on TikTok. They be talking about, I be on Instagram. They got them doctors and stuff, them herbal doctors be on. I listen to the herbal doctor, and he always like, if you go to the store, look for this and look for that. So yeah, I be doing the best as I can too, sis. Yep.
All praises.
That's why I say at first when I was doing my watermelon diet, I was doing the watermelon. I was just getting any watermelon, the seedless ones and all of that. I said, man, I ain't buying no more. Than every one I get, I gotta make sure it gets seeds in there too. When I eat it, I eat the seeds, blend it up, I eat the whole thing. Sometimes I do. Brother thing, because sometimes we do like little video. I take that the rind part, the white part, and I put it in my juicer and I squeeze all that juice out of the rind too. That part right there is a healthy part of the so-called water. I don't throw nothing away in the watermelon. When I get a watermelon, everything going down. Put the green part, I cut it down into like little shreds, and I put it in the juicer, and I make that juice. Man, that juice, it make you do wonders for you. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Get your little juice and squeeze all that juice out of there. That white part is the most healthiest part.
I did a watermelon fast for 3 days.
Yeah. I did mine last year. I did it for a while, man. I mean, that's the best I ever felt. I need to get back on that because I feel like garbage right now.
Come on, let's go. Come on.
Right. Let's get back on that watermelon. Let's get
I'm
back
ready.
on.
Yeah.
Right. I
Thank
had
you.
Brother Isaac, Brother Paul. Yeah, we was all on that watermelon. We got to get back into it. Yeah.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got Brother Daniel Shalom, bro.
Shalom, family. Shalom, Mr. Cott.
Praise to the Most High. What you got for me, brother?
Oh, okay. No doubt. So, one thing about, if I can, two things. What I found out is, you know how they be having the plant-based food?
Yeah.
That stuff is bad for us, bro.
Yeah, you're right about that, bro.
But they call it unbelievable meat or whatever they call it. That stuff is bad for us, bro.
You're right about that, bro. You know, I hate to talk over you, bro, but I tried to do that one time. Say I'm going on that. Man, I was getting them little unbelievable burgers and all of that stuff. My wife was like, you know, I wouldn't listen to her. She was like, that stuff worse than regular food.
Yes.
She started showing me the ingredients. Man, I got off that plant-based garbage.
So it's and they making meat. They making meat, man. I was going to these chicken farms and these I'm glad I don't have to go to the pig farms anymore. But I was going all out to these different places and man, and to see how these suckers do this meat, it's like man, you gotta ask yourself, do you really want to eat meat again?
Right. Exactly. You're right, brother. I'm telling you, bro, I would tell everybody if you could wean yourself down off that meat as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of time that meat that we getting, that stuff be made in the lab too. They use different words to put on them hamburgers and stuff, man. I try not to eat. If I do eat meat, man, I try to eat it once or maybe twice a week. I wean myself off that stuff, bro.
Yeah. If I could say this too, if the took it to slip my mind just that fast. It was about the meat. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
But if you notice, if you go on to Publix, like for instance, I went to looking for lamb. If you notice meat that's real good for you or something like that, if you look for those different things that have that Jewish symbol on them,
right,
the kosher symbol on them, then that's the stuff that's pretty much good for you. Now I don't know why they service Jewish folks, but they don't service us. But then again, I do. You know, we're in the land of our captivity. But that's some of the best things we can get. It don't have all of that crazy ingredients in it and stuff, preservatives and stuff like that. But if we can, get that stuff that got those the Jewish emblem on it,
right,
and stuff like that, the kosher food, man, that's what's gonna help us.
Right.
Exactly. Family.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Anytime y'all doing some shopping, they got them kosher aisles like in Walmart and in Publix. Go down there and go down the kosher aisle and try to get some of your food or whatever. But sometimes they got like Ishmael or the Arab, they got them kosher stores too, man. Go over there and get you some of that meat from them. Because, you know, where we buy our lamb from for the Passover, we go to that kosher grocery store over here. And shoot, that brother over there, he get all that meat in fresh, you know, and they get the chickens in. That be like fresh chicken. They ain't putting none of that stuff in there. They taking that chicken right there from the back and chopping his head off right there. So you get cleaner meat. You can tell the difference of the meat too. Because a lot of time when you go to the grocery store, you get that hamburger meat is all pink. And you let it sit down, that mud don't turn brown, bro. That meat supposed to start brown as soon as you open that pack up. You know that meat fake. And anytime you get that chicken and it's just the skin is just so white, that's that fake chicken, bro. Chicken don't look like that. When you buy chicken, that chicken look kind of like an orangish type color. That's the real chicken you supposed to get. So yeah, girl, if y'all do y'all shopping, try to look for them kosher stores. Make sure y'all look it up on Google's or whatever, and go get some of your meat. Or if you're gonna eat that meat, go to some of them kosher grocery stores too. Yep, that's the way. If you do want some marshmallows and some junk food or whatever, hey, that's where you get it from. Right? What's that, Mom?
Those are the different kosher symbols that you would find on the food.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go.
If you see any of those on there, that means that it's kosher based on their standards that they mainly take from the book.
Right, exactly. Right. All praises, brother. Yep. But all right, brothers and sisters.
Can I say one more thing?
Who that?
Brother Daniel, can I say one more thing?
Oh yeah, go ahead, brother. Yeah, we got all day. We got time.
but serious talk, that's what I forgot it, but I remember it now. If you can, y'all raise your own chickens. That's what we doing. You know, their own chickens. They give out their own eggs. You know, you ain't got to worry about. I mean, it's amazing whenever you have your own and growing your own stuff. If you can get back to the basics of growing your own stuff, even if you live in an apartment, you can still, I mean, start with some tomatoes or some okra or something like that. Start nursing it so you get the mindset of how this thing's supposed to come about, you know. But that's what we do. We raise our own chickens, raising our own, you know, we start out with 12, we got 10 of them now, but they throwing eggs everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So that's
I have to call my mom to stop by your spot, give me some of them eggs then.
Yeah, too. I gotta find them. Them jokers be all over everywhere. They be up in the, like my chicken don't even sleep in the coop. They sleep up in the tree, in the trees. They don't even go in the coop, hardly. You know what I'm saying? They might lay an egg or two. I come out here, they on my motorcycle laying eggs. Like what the world? You know what I'm saying? So I have to hunt them down every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, brother. Yep. All right, brothers. I guess if anybody got anything else, if not, then we're gonna get off here. Let y'all brothers enjoy y'all Sabbath with the family. You know, enjoy y'all time. You know, to the sun go down. All praise to the Most High. I know we ain't been out to camp in a little minute. You know, due to the weather, we've been going through a lot of rain and a lot of stuff like that. So, Lord's will, man, we got to get back on it. We got to get back on the grind. So, Lord's will, we can get back on the grind next Sabbath. So, Lord's will, I see y'all brothers at camp next Sabbath for sure. But with that, we're gonna get off here. Shalom. All praises to the Most High.
Shalom, family.
Shalom, family.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.
Shalom.
Shalom.